What if I told you that 42% of Americans over 55 will develop dementia, nearly 1 in 2 people, and the FDA just approved a blood test that can detect it 16 years before symptoms appear, but most doctors don't even know it exists? In the next 7 minutes, I'm going to reveal the early warning signs that even top neurologists are missing, including environmental factors that could account for 188,000 US dementia cases annually. Let's dive in. I'm going to be completely honest with you. After reviewing research published in January 2025, studies most health content creators haven't seen yet, I discovered the dementia landscape has completely changed. Here's what's different about this video. I'm not giving you generic senior moments everyone talks about. I'm sharing cutting-edge research on 3 types of dementia that are massively misdiagnosed, environmental factors driving the explosion in cases, and specific early signs that could save your cognitive future. The lifetime dementia risk just jumped from 15% to 42% based on new data. Cases will double to 1 million annually by 2060. But here's the encouraging news. We now have tools to detect and potentially prevent this disease decades before symptoms appear. Sign number 1. Visual spatial problems, the hidden first symptom. This is the early sign doctors completely miss because they only test memory. Before any memory problems begin, many people develop subtle difficulties with spatial reasoning. Watch for these specific changes. Getting lost in familiar places, even your own neighborhood. Difficulty judging distances when parking or walking downstairs. Problems understanding maps or following GPS directions. Trouble with depth perception. Missing steps or curbs. Difficulty assembling simple objects. Why this matters? This is often the very first sign of late dementia. A newly discovered form that affects 38% of people over 80, but looks exactly like Alzheimer's to doctors. Most late patients are getting the wrong treatment because doctors don't recognize this pattern. Action step: if you notice spatial problems, specifically ask your doctor to test visual spatial function with the Ray Osterrieth complex figure test, not just standard memory tests. Sign number 2. Environmental sensitivity, the pollution connection. Nobody talks about. This is completely new information from 2025 research. Air pollution exposure may be responsible for 188,000 dementia cases annually in the US, and your sensitivity to environmental toxins might be an early warning sign. New environmental warning signs include brain fog or headaches on high air pollution days, cognitive problems that worsen during wildfire season, mental clarity issues near busy roads or industrial areas, unusual reactions to household chemicals you used to tolerate, thinking problems that improve when you're away from urban environments. The science: PM 2.5 particles from agriculture and wildfires can cross your blood-brain barrier and trigger brain inflammation years before clinical dementia appears. Action step: download an air quality app like Air Now and track your cognitive symptoms against pollution levels for 2 weeks. If you see a pattern, discuss environmental testing with your doctor and invest in HEPA air purifiers for your home. Sign number 3. Fluctuating cognitive abilities, the most misdiagnosed form. Lewy body dementia affects 1.3 million Americans, but takes an average of 18 months and 3 doctors to diagnose correctly because of this key feature: dramatic fluctuations in mental clarity. Lewy body dementia symptoms include days of crystal clear thinking, alternating with severe confusion, detailed visual hallucinations, especially of people or animals, physical symptoms like tremor, stiffness, or slow movement, vivid, frightening dreams where you act out physically, severe reactions to common medications, episodes of staring into space for minutes. Why it's missed? Doctors see patients on good days and assume they're fine, or focus on physical symptoms and miss the cognitive fluctuations. Action step: keep a daily cognitive clarity log for 2 weeks. Rate your mental sharpness 1-10 each day. If there's significant day-to-day variation, specifically request evaluation for Lewy body dementia. Sign number 4. Subtle personality changes. The frontotemporal warning. Recent research from University of Queensland shows 70% of suspected frontotemporal dementia cases are misdiagnosed because doctors rely on brain scans instead of direct behavioral observation. Early personality changes include increased impulsivity in social situations. You used to handle fine loss of empathy that seems completely out of character. Inappropriate social comments or behavior. Changes in humor. Finding inappropriate things funny. Loss of social filter. Saying things you never would have before. Sudden food preference changes, especially craving sweets. Why this matters? Frontotemporal dementia can start as young as 45-50, but average diagnosis takes 3 to 4 years because doctors mistake early symptoms for depression or midlife crisis. Action step. Ask trusted family members if they've noticed personality changes. Document specific examples with dates. Don't accept it's just stress from your doctor. Sign number 5. Circadian rhythm. Disruption. When your internal clock breaks. This is one of the earliest and most reliable predictors of dementia, appearing years before memory problems, but rarely recognized by doctors. Circadian disruption, warning signs, sundowning, confusion or agitation that worsens in the evening, dramatic energy level changes throughout the day, wanting to sleep during the day but wide awake at night, eating at unusual times or forgetting meals entirely, body temperature regulation problems, sleep-wake cycles completely reversed. The science, the same brain regions controlling circadian rhythms are among the first affected by dementia pathology. Disrupted sleep accelerates toxic protein accumulation in your brain. Action step. Use a sleep tracking device for 30 days and look for patterns. If your circadian rhythms are consistently disrupted, see a sleep medicine specialist immediately. Now here's the game-changing information that could save your life. The blood test revolution. The FDA just approved the first blood test for Alzheimer's diagnosis, the Lumipulse GP Tau 217 test. This simple blood draw can detect dementia risk 16 years before symptoms with 79–86% accuracy. Most doctors don't know this exists yet. The late dementia discovery scientists discovered that 38% of people over 80 have a completely different dementia type called late that perfectly mimics Alzheimer's but needs different treatment. If you're not responding to Alzheimer's medications, you might have late instead. The misdiagnosis crisis. 70% of suspected frontotemporal dementia diagnoses are wrong. 25% of Alzheimer's diagnoses are incorrect. Lewy body dementia averages 18 months to diagnose correctly. New PET scan guidelines. The Alzheimer's Association just published 2025 criteria specifying exactly when brain PET scans are appropriate. Many patients are getting scans they don't need, while others who would benefit aren't getting them. What this means, if you have early warning signs, you need to specifically request these new diagnostic approaches, not outdated methods most doctors still use. The environmental protection. Your brain needs air pollution research shows specific actions can dramatically reduce your dementia risk. Daily protection steps, monitor air quality, use AirNow app and stay indoors when pollution is high. Install HEPA air purifiers in bedrooms and main living areas. Exercise smart, indoor workouts on high pollution days. Drive with windows closed and use recirculated air in traffic. Time outdoor activities for early morning when pollution is lowest, high-risk locations to avoid. Within 50 meters of busy roads, increases risk 7 to 11%. Areas with frequent wildfire smoke exposure, agricultural zones during spraying seasons, industrial areas with visible air emissions. The exercise buffer. Moderate to high physical activity can offset up to 50% of air pollution-related dementia risk, but only if you exercise smart by avoiding outdoor activity during high pollution periods. What to do right now? Your immediate action plan. If you have 1 to 2 warning signs, document them with specific examples and dates. Request the new p-tau 217 blood test by name. Get comprehensive hearing and vision tests. Start tracking sleep patterns and air quality correlation. If you have 3 to 4 warning signs, see a dementia specialist, not just your primary care doctor. Specifically request evaluation for late, Lewy body, and frontotemporal dementia. Demand comprehensive testing beyond basic memory assessment. Get a second opinion if dismissed. If you have 5+ warning signs, this requires urgent specialist care. Bring a family member to provide objective observations. Request expedited testing. Don't accept wait and see. Consider university-affiliated memory centers with latest diagnostic tools. Here, the conversation script for your doctor. I've been tracking specific cognitive changes for time period. I want evaluation for all dementia types, including late, Lewy body, and frontotemporal. I'd like the new p-tau 217 blood test and comprehensive assessment beyond basic memory testing. Mental health awareness connection. Depression and anxiety aren't just reactions to cognitive decline. They can be early dementia symptoms themselves. Chronic untreated anxiety damages the same brain regions affected by dementia. Social isolation doubles dementia risk. Don't dismiss mental health changes as separate from cognitive health. Let's destroy myths that could cost you years. Myth 1. Memory loss is normal aging. Truth. Occasional forgetfulness is normal. Consistent patterns of cognitive decline always need evaluation. Myth 2. Nothing can be done about dementia. Truth. Early intervention can delay nursing home placement by 2 to 3 years and dramatically improve quality of life. Myth 3. All dementia is Alzheimer's. Truth. There are over 100 types of dementia, each requiring different treatment approaches. Myth 4. Dementia is purely genetic. Truth. Up to 40% of dementia cases are preventable through lifestyle modifications, even in people with genetic risk factors. The APOE4 reality. 31% of Americans carry at least 1 copy of this risk gene. 2 copies, just a 59% lifetime dementia risk. But genetics isn't destiny. The right interventions can dramatically reduce risk, even with 2 copies. Treatment revolution. You need to know. New drugs like lecanemab and donanemab can slow Alzheimer's progression by 27–35%, but only work if you have confirmed amyloid pathology. The new blood tests can identify who will benefit before spending $26,000+ annually on these treatments. Your brain's future is in your hands. We're living through a revolution in dementia science. For the first time in history, we can detect dementia changes decades before symptoms appear and actually intervene effectively. The signs I've shared aren't just symptoms to worry about. They're opportunities for early intervention that could preserve your cognitive abilities for years longer than previous generations ever imagined. Your next steps. Today. Honestly assess yourself against these warning signs. Document any concerns with specific examples and dates. Request 2025 diagnostic approaches from your doctor using the scripts I provided. Protect your environment with air purification and smart exercise timing. Share this information with people you care about. Remember, 42% will develop dementia, but 58% won't. The actions you take today could determine which group you're in. If this video gave you actionable steps to protect your cognitive future with information you can't get anywhere else, please like and subscribe for more cutting-edge health research. In the comments, tell me, have you noticed any of these signs? What questions do you have about the new diagnostic approaches? Your brain health is too important to leave to outdated information. The revolution in dementia detection and prevention is happening right now. Make sure you're part of it.